Hello everyone! So today I decided to talk about something else than mental illness because I just want to have more variety on this channel than just self-harm, mental illness. I thought it could be good to have something else. So I asked you on Instagram, as always, what you wanted to see, and you said you wanted to talk about body modification. And what you guys wanted to see was about my experience with navel piercings. Just a disclaimer too, I'm not a professional piercer at all. I've never had any training in piercing, but I'm passionate about piercing, so I've educated myself a lot on it, but I'm not a professional piercer. If you want to know more about specific cases, either go to your doctor or to your local high-end piercing shop. I have just a few notes on my phone, so that's what I'm looking at. So I got my navel pierced on the 19th of November 2016. I got a double navel piercing, so I got the top of my navel pierced and the bottom. I will just put pictures on the screen for the entire video, it's gonna be easier. So yeah, I got both of them pierced. I got them pierced at a local studio where I live. It was quite a painful piercing, I'd say. If I had to put it on a pain scale, like from 1 to 10, I would say at least a 7. It was quite a painful piercing, and I got 2 at the same time. I got them pierced with curved barbells, so just like standard navel jewelry. The problem was, I think, the quality of the jewelry. It was just standard titanium, stainless steel jewelry. And I think that's what caused a lot of the problems. So I got them pierced, and quite from the beginning they were very, very sore. It's normal for piercings to be sore. Like, I got my conch pierced a few days and it's kind of sore, but these ones were really sore, and when I was moving they just felt out of place. Especially the bottom one, it was looking and feeling like quite shallow on the skin. It wasn't very deep, and one night I even had to just take some pain meds because they were giving me cramps, like muscle cramps, because they were just so painful. So from the start they weren't like feeling super great, but yeah, I just thought it's gonna be fine, it's gonna just go away, heal like a normal piercing. They didn't. They were quite red as well, which is also, again, it's normal for a piercing to be red, but they were very, very red. And they were red for a very long time, just because there was so much irritation because of the jewelry I was wearing and the way I was pierced. So after a month I went back to my piercer, for them to check him. They said it was fine, healing well, but they were still quite red. The real problem started around 2 months after I got them pierced, so I'm gonna show you some pictures. If you don't like pictures of piercings, I don't even know why you're here, but don't look at them. So I started to get, I think it was on the top piercing, I started to get like a small bubble of skin, something like that, so just like a bit of extra skin, I guess. I didn't think much of it. I think I emailed a piercer on the internet and they were like, well, that's fine, it's gonna go away. So I just left it and didn't think much of it. From there it went quite downhill, so they were painful and they started to get hypertrophic scarring, which is just basically a bubble of skin. Like your body produces too much skin, and it's caused usually by improper piercing position or by low quality jewelry. And the problem is, when I say low quality jewelry, I don't mean like plastic jewelry or just I don't know, something you made yourself from wood or something like that. Most piercing shops actually carry quite low piercing jewelry, like low quality piercing jewelry, because the regulation is quite low. It's not high demanding, so you could get a piercing in an approved studio that is following your country's law, but is still quite low quality and won't give you a great experience overall. So like if your jewelry is made out of anything else that's implant grade steel, or if it's made with external threading, I will put a picture here of what it means. So I tried a few things to get rid of the hypertrophic scarring. I think the first thing I tried was tea tree. So just tea tree and essential oil that you would just put on the bump, but the bump just got very, very irritated and it just got even more painful. So yeah, that didn't work. A second step was I got something called a navel piercing disc, which is basically a small disc made of silicone, which is supposed to go on your piercing and it's supposed to compress the bump to make it go away. Yeah, that didn't work either. It was never like really sitting on the bump. It was always a bit higher, so I tried to tape the disc to my skin. It just wasn't working, was feeling very badly. So yeah, wasn't working either. In the end, the scarring just got worse and worse. The bottom one didn't started to have a bit of extra scarring too. So on the 10th of May 2017, I decided to take them out. It ripped my heart. I hate having to take out piercings. The scarring kind of went down when I took them out. They were still quite red and there were just a lot of scar tissue that was there. Just something I should address. Hypertrophic scarring is not a keloid. A keloid is looking about the same. So often when people get bumps on their piercings, they think it's a keloid, but actually it's way more likely to be just hypertrophic scarring. A keloid would be way, way, way bigger than just hypertrophic scarring, which is just here from movement and improper piercing skills, improper quality jewelry. A keloid would be like huge. I would put photos of what a keloid scar looks like. You would know if you had a keloid scar. Most likely it's hypertrophic scarring. Another thing that really didn't help, I think, was I just kept changing the bars to see if like having a shorter bar would make the inflammation go down. But yeah, I just kept changing it, which is really, really not good. You should not change it, at least not yourself, for at least a year for navel piercings. They're really slow to heal. But my plan was to get it repierced by high-end studio later on. I was going to Edinburgh in August, and I knew there were a high-end shop there, which is called Tattoo and Piercing, and I went there to get my navel repierced. So what the piercer there told me was that actually I didn't have the proper anatomy to get lower navel piercing, like a bottom navel piercing. I didn't have the proper anatomy to have it, so that's why it was red, it was painful, and it was just way too shallow. And she said that my top piercing was just not done well. It wasn't done on a right angle, so every time I was moving or I was bending down, it was very painful and it was moving the jewelry in a wrong way. So she repierced it with high-end jewelry. I think it was from Metal, which is a high-end brand, and I was so happy with it. It was looking so good, but I just couldn't get the bottom one repierced. But hypertrophic scarring happened again. Now, I don't think it would have happened if I started by getting pierced by a high-end piercer, but as the skin had already been like kind of inflamed and I already had a lot of scarring, it just came back. So I had to take it out again, and now I'm just navel piercing free, and that sucks because they look so good. But yeah, I'm gonna try to show you what my scarring looks like right now. So I don't know if you can see well, but you can see here I have some rest of scar tissue. I also have some a bit inside, and here you can see what my scarring is for the lower part of my navel. So yeah. I don't have much scarring, but I guess it's already too much scarring. I don't really care for the scarring, but it just sucks. So, now that you've heard my experience, what can you do to avoid that? So, first step, go to a good piercer. If you live in America, a very great way to find a high-end studio is to go on the APP website, which I will show right here. They're basically the highest level of piercing knowledge. That doesn't make any sense. You see what I mean? They're the best trained piercer out there. They are the one who carry the highest jewelry quality, so it's worth it. So if you're in America, go to the APP website. They have a list of the best piercer in your area. If you can find an APP certified piercer, you're set. You know you're in good hands. They're using good techniques. They're using good jewelry. Go with them. If you're in Europe, well, there's not many APP studios in Europe. There are a few in England. In Europe, you most likely won't find an APP approved piercer. So what can you do to make sure your piercer is good? Best way is to see what type of jewelry they use. Go and look if they have these 3 brands. If these are the jewelry they're using, you're most likely fine. The other thing you can look for is, do they do some dangerous piercings? Some types of piercings really shouldn't be done, and if they do these piercings, I wouldn't go to them. And a third way you can look if your piercer is good is by their prices. Piercing is a luxury. If you want a good piercing, invest in it. You're gonna have such a better experience, better healing, all over, better experience. So the second thing is, do not change your jewelry. Do not change until it's fully healed, which is for a navel piercing at very least 6 months. So that's a huge thing you can do that I didn't do. Oops. And third thing is, if sadly your piercer tells you, I'm sorry, I can't pierce your navel, you don't have the proper anatomy, don't force it, you're gonna end up just like me with a botched navel piercing. So I guess that's it. Let me know if you enjoyed me talking about something else than mental health. I don't want this channel to be only focused on mental health, because I just want some variety and I want different people to like my channel and my content. So yeah, let me know if you liked it. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And yeah, I think that's it. You can find me on Instagram, and I hope you have a great day. Bye guys!